Ah, yes, the good old days. We were happy. We were in love. We spent every day, every moment together. And then it all went south. It started out as what I thought were just diatoms on the sand bed, a little outbreak. I siphoned the sand. I did what I could to take out any bad bacteria, and I added new bacteria as much as I could, and that helped a little. But then it went to brown hair algae, and then it kind of graduated to dinoflagellates. And I continued to fight and scrub it. I did the toothbrush method, and there was just no letting up. It began RTN on my corals, and everything started to die slowly. So the corals losing color, I noticed it at first, obviously, but I wasn't going to panic because I've brought corals back from the brink before. But once I saw my tang, my beautiful gold rim tang, break out in these spots, I said, well, it doesn't really look like ick. It's got to be something else. It's got to be the hardcore stuff, maybe some Brooklinella or something else. But I knew this outbreak was affecting the fish now. And so I went to the store and I bought everything I could buy to try and fight off this outbreak. And I even did the 3 days of darkness. I shut it down. I covered the tank completely, and it did help a little bit. It did kill off some of the algae. The sand bed cleared up, but the rocks didn't. So after that, I kind of just decided to shut the tank down. It was a complete crash for me. I removed all of the remaining fish, the ones that didn't die. And I removed all of the corals, put them in my coral 20 long gallon tank that I keep elsewhere, and tried to just keep everybody alive and treat a little bit. I even took out my anemone. He wouldn't come out of his rock, so I just had to remove the whole rock and put him in a separate container as well. Basically, it was a sad sight after all the work I put in to have my tank crash, but I knew I had to do it. I had to tear it down, replace the sand bed, replace the rock, and actually putting the corals into the 20 long with some T5 lighting actually helped them get past the stress, and they were actually coloring up really nicely for a little while. Eventually I just got around to scrubbing and removing the water and the sand. It was a rough job. I cleaned out the sump, I cleaned the pumps, the skimmer. I just broke everything down with what I could save, and it was a sad moment. And so this is the last video of the 75-gallon reef tank. By no means does this mean that I'm leaving the hobby. In fact, I'm already on to bigger and better things. But I want you guys to see that this does happen, and you don't get discouraged by it. You do your best to prevent it from happening in the first place. You got to dip these corals. You have to quarantine your fish. You got to quarantine your corals as well sometimes. But you stay persistent. You do your homework, and it happens to the best of us. It's nothing that I can really point to that said, I did something drastically wrong to where I had to shut down the entire tank. But I felt it was best considering how widespread the outbreak was. And I did lose my hippo tang, my gold rim tang, and a few other fish that I lost. I lost a couple of damsels. I didn't really mind losing the damsels, I hate to say, but my clownfish survived, and my purple tang survived. It's my crown jewel. And so I plan on continuing in the hobby and to keep going with this. You guys tune in again because we are on to a bigger and better surprise for you guys coming up. Just wanted to say goodbye to my 75-gallon. It was nice. We had some good moments. But we're on to bigger and better things. Stay tuned for the 90-gallon build. It's awesome. Peace.